gray skies, both hypnotized. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord. In a heartbeat, you were gone. Like ships in the night, love at first sight, holding you tight. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, so unfair, you left me there. Choose the 9:35 from Paris, left with just her aroma from my standstill adventure. Now I'm stuck in a world of regret. And it's 9:35. I'm not happy, but I feel alive. So much I wanted to say, but now it's too late. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and as you can tell with my hair, it's just getting longer. No haircut so far, but the hair gods are looking down on me because it's split in the middle and I can see what's going on. So that means that I can see you guys in that live chat room. Let's get you all up on screen and see who is in the house tonight. We have Charlie and Neil moderating in there, Lisa, Totoro Porco, Richard, Susan and Dennis, and it's going through too quickly. Shawnee Key, Laurie, Orlando, Lisa, Bob's in there, Deborah, Paul, Karen, Vince is in the house, and Teresa as well. Alexandria has just donated $20 as well. Thank you for that. And let me just read that out. Thank you for all you do. Love all the infos. Always blessings, Phil. So thank you for that, Alexandria. That's a very early donation. I know that Orlando has donated as always very early on and said spike the likes and donated $2. So thank you for that, Orlando. I'm just checking that was the only one that came in before the live stream, which I think we're up to date with the super chat donations. I say up to date, we're like about 30 seconds into the live stream, so I would hope that we're up to date with the donations, but let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this possible in the first place, including all of the videos that I do on the channel. And up in the corner at the last live stream on Saturday, I forgot to change that, so it said live stream Tuesday on a Saturday. But even if I forget to change it, it means that 50% of the time it's going to be right because we live stream on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. As you can see, it's 8 minutes past 12 here in the UK. And I made a screen. I always have to set up these live streams about an hour in advance to get the pick roulette set up and make sure that everything appears on screen as it should. So when we started tonight, there was a little screen that I've made up called Establishing Connection. And I've made that so that I can start the live stream without going straight into starting the live stream, because the video that starts when it's all ready to go and it says live stream about to start or something like that, that's a video that I've made. So it means that if the connection isn't established, then it's going to start going all funny and potentially not loading. So I thought that I'd put an establishing connection screen at the beginning so that I can start the live stream. I can get the data from YouTube to show that it's at least receiving the data and that it's solid, the connection is good, and then we can start the live stream from there, because on the last live stream we had a bit of a problem starting out. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, just to make sure that we can go live and that I'm not having to rely on everybody to tell me that we're live. But as soon as the live stream has started, I then can't see any of the feedback anymore. I stop the live feed that I have of the video just to save the amount of upload speed and make it as fast as possible for you guys to watch. So if it does ever cut out at some point, just let me know in the comment section, because I have the comment section here, as I can refer to it on my screen, so I can see that Rick and Benita and Karen are going through, and Brenda as well, and Francis and Scott and Vince. So I've got all of your comments in front of me here. So if I start seeing that I'm actually talking to nobody, and you guys can let me know if I'm talking to nobody, that would be good. But thus far, I think we are fine. It even says excellent connection. So double thumbs up. Anyway, let me get the likes up on screen as well. We are at 140 likes tonight so far. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up as you come through the door. If you could do that, would be much appreciated in order to get us to our target tonight of 285. That's what we are looking for in order to have a pick roulette next week, next Tuesday, and we are going to be having a pick roulette tonight as well, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be looking at a few pictures as well. Actually, we're going to be taking a look at not only your pictures, but a picture that I was sent over, well, it's actually through emails. I was going to say over on one of the social media pages, but I get emails that come through to me from wingsofpegasus@hotmail.com. I also get emails that come to me through the website, and I've had a lot of emails recently because, by the way, this is something that I've forgotten to update because it's going too quickly, is the 225,000 subscriber party that we are having tonight. So I just quickly typed that in, and hopefully it'll pop up on screen, and it looks like I did it correctly all along, when in fact I just typed that in. So, and I didn't type in that would take me a lot longer to type in. I just typed in a 5 instead of the 4. So 225,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell and hitting the box for getting notified for videos. That's something I do suggest you do if you don't want to miss any videos, because occasionally I will get some comments that come in that say, "Hi Phil, where have you been?" ? And "Oh, great to see you back making videos again." And I've never stopped. I think it's been about 3.5 years. I've never stopped making videos. So I think sometimes if you're not notified and you're just subscribed, you can go probably months without receiving a notification, but there's months worth, or a month's worth, or maybe more than that, of videos that you haven't seen, that you've missed out on. So it might be the very video that you yourself requested, because that's how it works. I just cover all of the requests on the channel. So let me get rid of that, and I mean, they're cheering the fact that I've got rid of it, but let me get rid of the cheering as well. So yeah, some people say, oh, I requested a particular analysis of video about a year ago and you still haven't done it. And then I say, yeah, I did it a couple of months ago, but they weren't getting notified for the videos. So make sure that you do subscribe and hit that notification bell and tick the box to get notified for every video, because I might be covering your suggestion or request and you might miss it if you don't do all of that. Anyway, I think we're pretty much up to date with everything on the screen. Let me get the donations tab up on screen so you guys get a lay of the land. The 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and that's the comments window, the live chat room. That's that donation part there. And through PayPal, which there's a link to in the description below, 3 to 5% goes to PayPal. So yes, those are the percentages, so you know where your money is going. Anyway, we did have some donations. I will get up to speed with the PayPal donations just very quickly, because Robert donated £10 and 48 pence. Thank you for that, Robert. And that was actually on Sunday afternoon, so a few days ago. And I'll just scroll down to give you guys confirmation of that. So thank you, Robert. And let me just get that off the screen, because that was obviously a little while ago. So there have been other emails that have come through. And let me see what this one is. Okay, right, that's just come in from Sebastian. Actually, that came in this morning from Sebastian, and there's a massive message with it as well. So let me go down to try and get up to date with everything. Okay, Marilyn, let me get this on screen so you guys can see it as well. Marilyn donated £41 and 92 pence. Thank you for that, Marilyn. And the message was, and I think I've spoken to Marilyn about this anyway, but just to mention it on the live stream, the message was, since I can't figure out how to add to my Patreon membership, I'm donating through PayPal. So thank you for that, Marilyn. And that was on Sunday at 5:30, so a few days ago again. But I'm just going to scroll down to make sure that I haven't missed anything out. And those were the donations from Sunday. So it means that we can get bang up to date with the live stream donations. Let me pop this one on there. Right, I'm going to read that in a second. And I can see it's something to do with the Paul, the Fall, the controversy, the conspiracy. And I'm going to quickly address this right at the beginning of the live stream, because with the emails, obviously we've been getting a lot more subscribers, but I've been receiving emails about how Paul is alive, how Paul is dead. I've also been receiving evidence as to why Paul is dead. And so lots of emails. Thank you everyone for sending me this evidence, as well as being told that the earth is actually flat, and I received a PDF explaining why the earth is flat and it's not round. And that's something that I did reply to the email saying that I don't see the reason for trying to keep it a secret that the world is flat, and all of science finding that it is actually round. It's not technically round, it's spherical, is it? I don't know. But anyway, a round shape. I don't see what's to be gained by lying about that, because we don't pay a spherical earth tax, because because that's what the government say the earth is like. So anyway, I don't see the advantage of telling everyone that it's round when it's in fact flat. And yeah, just from sending things up into space, like those balloons with a camera on, which anyone can do, send it up as high as it can get. And they've even done balloons that are really thick and can go up really high, and you can start to see the curvature of the earth anyway. So yeah, I don't see the advantage of lying about that. But anyway, so those are the emails that I've been receiving. But what I want to mention is that a lot of the stuff that I've been sent actually proves that he's alive, which is weird, because I know that they're sending it as evidence that he's dead. But I mean, regardless of his height, his eye colour, and I've said that, yeah, if I wear cowboy boots, I can be a couple of inches taller, but I don't consider myself a different person. I'm just wearing a different shoe that now has a heel on it. with eye color as well, my eyes are a mix of brown and green, so it depends on how the light hits them as to which color they mostly look. But I know that a lot of people have said his eyes were brown and now they're green. And again, the pictures that I've been sent, one of them you can see, I don't know whether I'll be able to find it, I might be able to find it, but one of them you can see it looks distinctly like he's got brown eyes, but this is supposed to be the fake Paul. So they're kind of forgetting their own evidence that, oh, look at the difference in their faces here. But the fool has got brown eyes in this one. So where have his green eyes gone? Anyway, let me just get this up on screen because I just want to address this email that I was sent that showed me a picture with Fool, the fake Paul, on the right-hand side and the real Paul McCartney on the left-hand side. And I'm not an expert at Photoshop or anything like that. So what I've done is I've taken Fool's face, put it on top of Paul's face, and just rotated it so that they are at least at the same angle. And I've adjusted the opacity, which means that you can see through one and it will blend into the next to see the differences between the faces. And let me get this up on screen. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Here we go. So I just did a video of me doing this. By the way, this is the proof. And actually, let me just get rid of that because the way that I've been explaining it is, as a musician, as a teacher, as somebody who plays an instrument and has watched hundreds of people play instruments and learn to play instruments at very close quarters, I know that Paul McCartney is Paul McCartney because of the way he plays the bass guitar. There's no way that you can learn the physiology and the tiny little preferences, cues, the genetic physiology to play that instrument in that particular way is unique to that person, as it is to everybody learning to play either the guitar, the electric guitar or bass guitar. There are so many things that are subconscious that we can't do anything about. And when you watch Paul play in 1964 and then even watch him now, the same technique is being applied, the same physiological technique. I'm not talking about just playing a note and hearing it. I'm talking about the fretting angle, the stretch of the hand, the angle of the forearm, the anchor points on the body of the bass guitar. Everything is the same. So as a teacher with over 15 years experience, I can say conclusively that the person we're watching playing this instrument is the same person, because you can't learn to do this because it's a point of genetics. Everybody, if they're playing, I've done loads of covers on this channel. When I'm playing a cover of a song, I guarantee you it will look different to the guitarist who's playing that song because he has a different hand size. He has a different angle with his arm. He has a different way of playing that is personal to him due to his physiology being unique and everyone being different. So the fact that Paul McCartney still plays the bass exactly as he did in 1964, for me, I don't even need to get into height, eye color, these different things that I've been sent, all of the evidence. I don't need to get into that because I can see from playing an instrument he's the same person. But anyway, this is something that I'm going to show up on screen anyway, because even if you weren't to take my opinion and my experience as saying this is the same guy playing bass, here is what I was sent as proof of him being a different person. So let's get it up on screen. Right. So on the left here, this is the real Paul McCartney, and on the right here, obviously it's a fake Paul McCartney because look at how different they look. So what I'm going to do is take this face and place it on this face, and like I said, I'm not an expert at doing this in Photoshop or anything, but this is what I've done. Right, let me take back to the beginning of the video because... Right, so now at this point, I've placed this picture over the top of the original picture and allowed it to be see-through. So we are at the moment seeing both of these faces, one on top of the next. And it's this one on top of the previous one. And let me just take that back. I mean, the eyes, look at the eyes. That is now one on top of the other, taking it back and going forward. Look at how the eyes never change. I mean, the whole face never changes. But again, if you've been in any photography, you will know how much of a difference lighting, angles, even angle of lighting, but the angles that you hold your face, how much of a difference they make. And you can see here that actually on the left-hand side, Paul is looking slightly to his left. That's why you can see his ear protruding quite a lot. And here he is straight on. And you can actually see a part of his ear here, so it would protrude quite a lot anyway, even though he is face on, and you can see that his ear is quite big when he is turned to the side anyway. But moving it forward a little bit again, if we're looking at, that's now the picture, and this, by the way, is the proof that they're different people. You can't change bone structure. And I know that a lot of people have said, I mean, look at that, it's a perfect match. Again, showing both of the pictures at the same time. So, anyway, yeah, having those two pictures, like I said, you can't edit bone structure and his eyes. I mean, the giveaways are, look at the eyebrow, the way that it comes down to the side of his eye, and the fake Paul has exactly the same eyebrow that ends in the same place. It really doesn't make sense to think that these are different people. But anyway, bone structure. I know some people said, this fake Paul here has had surgery to make him look like the real Paul McCartney. Surgery back in 1966 was only for injuries, or reconstructive surgery. So say somebody had lost part of their face and they needed to try and make them look a little bit more human almost, or limbs that have missed, that have been, affected, or they've lost a limb. They use reconstructive surgery. They weren't doing this, and they can't even do this nowadays. There's no way you could have surgery on anybody to make them look this much like Paul McCartney. You can always tell, even when a person has had surgery on their own face to look like themselves, a little bit younger, you can still tell they've had surgery to try and look younger than they are, even when it's their own face. So anyway, yeah, so moving through this, again, you can see, I mean, the eyes, you can see that slight tilt in his head as well, that when we go back to that original, that he's looking to the side. But I mean, even look at this. Again, we're looking at both pictures here. Look at the distance between the nose and the mouth. And these are now both of the pictures we're looking at. They match up perfectly. So, yes, I don't know what else to say. And this is the last point I'm going to comment on it, because again, with all the experience of playing guitar, playing bass guitar, teaching guitar for over 15 years, knowing that the guy in 1964 is the same guy that's playing now and has been playing for every year since 1964, even just looking at this, even without all of that knowledge, I would say that this guy is the same guy, because you can't fake having eyes that are that. I mean, they are so unique, these eyes. And we are flipping between one picture and the next here. If you're just looking at the middle of the picture, there is literally no difference in his eyes, and you can't do that with surgery. But anyway, so that is it. And that is the last thing that I'm going to mention about it, and it's going to be the last time that I'm commenting on it, because everybody, I mean, most people in the comment section say it's obvious that it's the same person, but it's the last time I'm going to comment on it or answer anybody's comments in the not in the live chat room. Of course, I can answer all of your comments here, but in the standard analysis videos, it's the last time I'm going to comment on any of those. I'm just going to say refer to the live stream, because anything else, I think that's about as clear as you can get it. And just to clarify, those pictures were the ones that I have been sent to prove it's a different person, that Fall is on the right and Paul is on the left, but they match up perfectly when you just put them over the top of each other. So maybe if somebody had sent me a picture to prove it's a different person and then they don't match up and you think, hang on, there might be something in this, but even still, with all of my musical experience, I say, well, why are their faces different? But they're not, they're exactly the same. Anyway, that's the last I'm going to say on it, and the last time I'm going to comment. I'm just going to say refer to my live stream on whatever the date is today. It'll be the 18th where most people are, but the 19th here or on the live stream in the UK. So I'm going to say refer to my live stream on the 18th, where I compare the bone structure of Paul McCartney from 1964. And this might even be earlier than that, until, I mean, it looks like Paul has aged quite a bit, but I'd say maybe early 70s on the right hand side, or should I say what people have sent me as the full, which actually turns out it is Paul. So let's move on with that. And thank you guys, by the way, for commenting on the videos. It is interesting, but that's the last I'm going to be commenting on that, because it does take a long time to try and explain to people, especially non-musicians. I think if you're a non-musician, if you don't live in the UK, then you've probably got a different view on it that might not make... or it might not align with what everyone in the UK here thinks. Everyone in the UK thinks it is a bit silly just because of what I've been through there, but the fact that, yeah, Liverpool is not a big place, so to find a replacement who is that similar, who has exactly the same eyes, or should I say who got found and within 2 months has had surgery to make him look like somebody, play the bass exactly the same way, sing exactly the same way, have an intimate knowledge of the other person's life since a memorable time of, you know, being 7 or 8 years of age. All of these different things, having the eyebrow that ends by the side of the eye, that is so unique. I don't know many people that have eyebrows that do that. And it's interesting because I think Paul was a little bit conscious of his eyebrows because they were quite thick, and then started to pluck them a little bit later on, but they still ended down there. And yeah, so unique. And the distance between his nose and his mouth, everybody knows that is personal. That is so different from one person to the next. And surgery did not exist back in the 60s to that level. It still doesn't. So let's move on. I said that I would stop talking about it, but I will. So just to go back to the PayPal donations, thank you guys for these. I can see that we've had some donations in the super chat window as well. So thank you for that. And just going to scroll down because Sebastian donated $2, so thank you for that. And I think this is maybe what I've just spoken about, but the message is, hello, please keep me anonymous. Okay, everyone forget. I'll take that out in the edit of the live stream later, but hello, please keep me anonymous. Maybe I'm not going to read the message because we'll go up, but I'm going to read the message so that nobody knows what your message is. So then it doesn't matter that I've mentioned your name. So the message is, I'm going to read it, obviously. Imagine me just reading out the message. And I will say in response to the message what the message refers to, but I won't say exactly what it is. So bear with me while I read this, because it is a long message. So entertain yourselves. Okay. Okay. Oh, that is great. Because exactly what I've just done has answered the question that was in this message. So thank you for that. And by the way, it doesn't really matter about being anonymous. Obviously, I haven't read out your message, so nobody knows what you're saying anyway. But your message is totally understandable. And what I've just done with reference to cameras and the way that they pick up the face and lighting, I've just shown it with 2 separate pictures that were to explain the difference between Fall and Paul, but it turns out they are exactly the same. So that has proved it. So great. And thank you for that donation as well. And that's worked out really well, because I thought that by me mentioning it that I wrecked everything, but no, it's absolutely fine. But thank you for that donation. And I'm just gonna scroll up because that was actually an early donation, so let me get that off the screen so we can get up to date with tonight's live stream. And let me go to that. It looks like Steve tried to donate, but it's pending, and that's for £5. So thank you for that, Steve. I think sometimes the PayPal thing takes a little bit of time to go through. I'm not sure why that is, but thank you, Steve, for that donation. And it looks like there isn't a message with it, or maybe a message will come through when it's then kind of gone through. So let's have a little look. And I got another email saying that the same one is pending. So thank you for that. And let me just get this up on screen because Deborah has donated £5. Thank you for this, Deborah. And the message is, spike the likes. Let me scroll down so you guys can see it as well. Spike the likes, plug of the mug, and 3 cheers for 225,000 subscribers. 1. So thank you for that, Deborah, and a big shout out as well to, I mentioned Orlando, but we always have a plug of the mug when we mention Orlando's donation, but Deborah has reminded me, so thank you for that, Deborah. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, click on any of the merchandise in the tray underneath this video, or go to the description below. There's a link in there, so you can click on there to go through to the spring.com store. Or you can just go over to wingsofpegasus.com for the other merchandise, which, are necklaces, picks, that kind of stuff. And that's Carla that does that over there. So, all of your merchandise needs are over there. By the way, if you want to get involved yourselves, I did mention about Patreon earlier with Marilyn's donation because she is a member over on Patreon. So if you want to become a patron and support the channel, you can head over there, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and then you get your name on the live stream going across the screen forever. Your name will be part of the names at the bottom. But anyway, yes, thank you guys for supporting me over there. I say that it is really the foundation of the channel because on YouTube, some channels can do a membership thing, but I can't do that on this channel because I am analysing other people's music. So it means that every video that I do, when I'm looking at somebody else's music, that's copyright claimed, which means that adverts then get put on it and they take the ad revenue, and I can't make any money through a membership thing for looking at other people's copyright material. So that's just the way it works, or at least that's the way it is here in the UK. I'm not sure about the USA or channels that are based in the USA, but certainly, yes, I can't do it, unfortunately. And people have asked, oh, why don't you do the membership thing? So patreon.com is the only thing really that I can do, but that's what I prefer to do anyway because it's a lot more personal. You guys can message me one-to-one over there. I've got an inbox and you can just click on message and I'll answer that. So as you guys know, over on Patreon. But thank you guys for all of your support, and thank you for the donations during the live streams as well, because they really do make a difference, as well as the support over on Patreon. I always say it's the foundation of the channel over on Patreon, and that's where I would be if YouTube suddenly stopped. All the videos would be released over on Patreon independently, and I'd still keep on going over there. But fortunately, at the moment, YouTube is still going, so we are fine with the live streams as well. And I would be live streaming over on Patreon if I couldn't do it here, but we've got quite a good community going, so we'll keep everything as it is. Tuesday nights and Saturday nights, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time for the live streams. So anyway, thank you for that, Deborah. And let me just scroll up. And we have Catherine, who has donated £10 and 52 pence. So thank you for that, Catherine. And the message is, Paul is alive. The Earth is spherical. The moon landings really happened. There, controversies put to rest. Thank you for that, Catherine. And this is the other thing that some people have commented, saying that when they were, in their teenage years, maybe even younger than that, and they heard that Paul McCartney was dead, they were devastated because obviously they were huge fans of Paul McCartney. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that, it might have taken a very long time until now to realise that he's actually alive and was alive the whole time. But yeah, it's a shame to think that some kids back then were devastated by hearing that news, that something that was totally fabricated. But thank you for that, Catherine. Just quickly jumping into the super chat window because we had a donation in there from Dark. Aria, or area, but it's Aria, Aria. So thank you for that. And it's a $50 donation. So, very kind donation. Thank you for that. William has donated $5 as well. Thank you, William, and says, wow, with the guy shaking his head. Not believing what he's seeing. So maybe that was just looking at those Paul McCartney pictures overlapped, so you could see that Paul is in fact full. Stardust Unicorn, support band to Wings of Pegasus, has donated $5. Thank you again for that. Orlando has donated $2 and says, the world loves a good conspiracy theory with somebody looking up, probably rolling their eyes. Thank you for that, Orlando. Diane has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Diane. And the message is there one musician that has influenced your guitar technique the most? Thank you for that question. Probably, I don't know. To start with, Jimi Hendrix, certainly having the thumb over the top in order to try and play rhythm and lead at the same time. Then a little bit later on, Reb Beach, who's a player, he plays for Winger and also plays for Whitesnake more recently, but he plays for Kip Winger, obviously Winger, the band, if you don't know. Kip Winger is the singer and bassist, but I mean, Kip plays guitar as well, 12 string, and just immensely talented. But Reb Beach is a guitarist who did and still does kind of 1 and 2 finger tapping on the right hand side. So I started to kind of get into doing that because I liked the legato sound of it. So I started working at that technique. But my technique, going back to the Paul McCartney thing, the way that I do it is different to the way that Red Beach does it, because I was learning to do it from hearing it. So I worked out my own way, and obviously my physiology is different. So he uses a different finger on his right hand. He uses his first and second finger, I believe, and I use my second and my third finger to try and do the same runs in order to, I could get them to sound the same or as close as I could get them, and then realise when I watched him live that he does it differently. So anyway, that just proves the point that everybody just works things out their own way depending on their own physiology. So yeah, I'd say Jimi Hendrix the most to begin with vibrato as well, controlling it. Then Brian May as well. I was a big fan of his vibrato, so I started working on trying to slow down vibrato and have total control of it, speeding it up, slowing it down, so that I could do any kind of vibrato in terms of speed that I wanted to. So yeah, those 3 are the first 3 that popped to mind, but there have been loads of guitarists that I've been influenced by. Gary Moore as well, there's another one, throw him in the mix for, again, vibrato, just putting in a little bit more speed, you know, faster runs with slower passages, blues as well. So yeah, thank you for that, Diane. I'll probably go on all night just starting to name more and more guitarists. But thank you, Paul, as well, who has donated $5 and says, Paul is my favourite left-handed bass player. He said, spike the likes. So, great idea there from Paul. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We are aiming for 285 likes tonight. We are at 270 already, so we're looking for another 15 people in that live chat room to hit that thumbs up if they haven't already. So, Paul, again, being left-handed, that's a whole nother thing, is trying to learn to play the bass within, I don't know how long it was between the supposed car crash or the death. Or, you know, people said that he either had a car crash or he committed suicide and all these different things. But I don't know how long it was between then and then getting another guy who looks exactly the same and could do everything exactly the same way and is left-handed, by the way. Even if they were right-handed, they suddenly could learn to do it left-handed. And anyone that's learned to play any instrument, like especially guitar or bass guitar, if you try and imagine learning it the other way around, just quickly, because, oh, panic, we've got to replace this guy, we need someone who looks exactly the same and is from Liverpool, has exactly the same accent, anyway, yeah, just trying to learn the instrument the other way around, you can't do that quickly. That would take ages to do. So, anyway, and especially then, to do it subconsciously and have all the same tiny technique details that the other guy had that are happening subconsciously, by the way, because you're singing at the same time. So, thank you for that, Paul. Right, let's get on with the live stream, and 20 to 1 already. There has been a vote going on, by the way, for the cover tonight, And at the moment, Free Fallin' has 65% of the vote. And the other song was the same one that we've had quite a few times, which is called Hero. And that's the Chad Kroeger version of it from the Spider-Man movie. It looks like maybe we're not going to be able to have that one tonight because Free Fallin' is 65% voted for at the moment in terms of the population in the live chat room. So I think we're probably going to have to call it to a close. Let me end the poll, and I think it's got to be Free Fallin' that's going to win it. But as always, I'll wait for the clarification to just see if it is, unless there's a sudden landslide the other way. But yes, 65% for Free Fallin', and Chad Kroeger's Hero got 34%. Technically 35 if you're not going into the decimal points. So, thank you guys for voting for this. We'll jump into Free Fallin' now, and then we'll get into the pictures. As always, we'll get into the pick roulette as well. And we might have a look at, if I can figure out how to do it, a cartoon that I did for my album when I was recording it to try and generate a little bit of interest, because obviously trying to do that as an independent artist is really difficult. So I made a little cartoon. It's not a real life story, but I saw that somebody requested it over on Patreon, which I will look into who did it a little bit later on after this video and after the pictures, and after the pick roulette. But we will jump into this. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock!
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, she's crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too. And it's a long day living in Reseda, and there's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free,
And there we have it. That was my version of Free Fallin'. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for requesting that over on Patreon and for voting for it tonight. And it looks like maybe in the future we'll have a listen to Hero, the Chad Kroeger cover, because that's requested quite a lot, but it's lost out a few times recently. So we will see if we can get that going in the future. Anyway, thank you for the donations that have come through in the super chat window, and I can see that Jennifer donated $10, and this happened right between the live stream starting and just before the live stream. So sometimes it doesn't refresh because, as I said before, YouTube, as soon as you start the live stream, it removes every donation that's come through before the live stream starts, which is annoying, but I do make sure to go back. So Jennifer donated $10 and said, Phil, is there an instrument you don't play that you wish you knew how to play? All you wingers in the snowstorms, take care. Thanks. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I don't think so, because I think if I wanted to learn another instrument, how to play another instrument, I would have already started, because if I really want to do something, generally I will do it. So I wish I was better at the other instruments, but then I know that my focus really has been guitar to begin with, obviously, when I started playing when I was 11, but then over the more kind of recent years of maybe 8 years, something like that, my focus really has been vocals, because I couldn't sing and I wanted to learn to sing. And you've really got to approach singing in exactly the same way that you approach learning any other instrument, like the guitar, for example. So yeah, I spent a hell of a long time, like I've said in other videos more recently, that I just focused on pitch for probably about a year, just an hour a night, 6 times a week, just trying to hit notes and just singing through scales, trying to get them more and more accurate each time. So yeah, I spent a hell of a long time just trying to learn to sing, and that is still, I would say, my focus, because I know that, or at least I think that if I stop singing and stop practicing and stop hitting these pitches, that my muscle memory will forget where the notes are, and then you go back to not being able to sing. So you have to keep it topped up. At least that's how I imagine it in my head, that if I suddenly stop, that I'll lose what I've built up over kind of 7 or 8 years practice. So yeah, definitely I'm focused on that. But with the other instruments, yes, I would love to be better at drums, keys, bass. I don't really mind too much, because a lot of technique from guitar crosses over to bass, and I'm not really into pushing the techniques into a really advanced place on bass, as long as I can just play bass lines to my own songs, obviously, and covers, then that's fine. Generally, I mean, unless you're doing some level 42 or something as a cover, generally I'll be okay covering the kind of level playing wise that is required for most popular songs and most well-known songs. So same thing really. I mean, with keys, again, I've just taken what I know musically, and with the guitar, and just, I mean, playing my chords, your majors, your minors, your sevenths, your minor sevenths, your major sevenths, just your basic chords, just taking them from guitar and putting them on the piano. Sus2s, sus4s, again, can't really be a great sus2 chord played with keys, because you get to add that lower octave as well. So yeah, I've pretty much copied and pasted a lot of my guitar stuff over to playing keys. So I'm not really advanced. I'd love to be a lot more advanced at playing keys, but I know the amount of practice it would take, and I know that it would take less vocal practice and more keys practice. But I think certainly playing keys, I think, is something that put my wrist at a little bit of a situation, which is, well, you can see at the moment it's in now. Just pushed it a little bit too far maybe with my keys playing, and that's when I started to feel my wrist. So ironic, I haven't had a problem playing guitar for many years. I don't even want to say how many years, but yeah, if I started when I was 11, yeah, it's pushing on to 30 years now playing guitar, and I've been absolutely fine. I start playing keys a little bit more and it does my wrist in. So yeah, Anyway, moving forward, thank you for that, Jennifer. And I know there's a recent donation from Jennifer as well that said, Phil, hope you got my other donation, and that was $5. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And 1337 Nano has donated £5. Thank you for that, and says keep it up. So that might be from the UK. A bit of English money coming in there. Pound sterling, £5. So it is a bit late here in the UK. 7 minutes to 1 here in the morning. So technically we are the 19th and everywhere else is still in the 18th. So hello, if you're watching this in the past. If you're watching this in the future, you're part of that catch-up crew. If you can give this video a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We have smashed the likes goal for tonight, 321. Amazing. Thank you guys for doing that. If you can hit that thumbs up, if you haven't yet, that would be much appreciated as well, because it will help this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow as a whole. Like I said, 225,000 subscribers. It's all getting a bit crazy at the moment with all of the extra comments and messages that are kicking off. But thank you everyone for subscribing, and I wouldn't be surprised if we are close to 226, even though this is a 225 live stream party. Anyway, thank you for that donation, and M has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, M, and that's a straight up donation without a message. Jeannie has donated £2 and $25. £2. Let me say that again. £2 and $25. How much is that? I can't even work out what that would be, but $2.25 is because I always forget what cents are, because I know what dollars are, but then the small amounts of money in the USA, I know what pence are. So my brain obviously had a bit of a panic. It says, I don't know what the cents are, so let's just call it pence. Pounds and cents. There you go. There's a little insight into my brain just coming up with my own currency. So let's see at some point in the future if we ever get a donation that is for £2.25. That would be amazing. But cents sounds like pence, so I can understand. I have a little bit of empathy with my brain trying to figure it out, because it sounds the same. Anyway, thank you for that, Jeannie. And the message was, congrats on 225k, but like I said, good health to all with a heart. So thank you for that, Jeannie. And Lisa has donated $5, and that's just a straight up dollars without any cents or pence going on. Thank you for that, Lisa. The message is, hi Phil, did anything in particular give you a struggle as you were learning guitar? Any new things you want to achieve at this stage of your career? So thank you for that, Lisa. I think the only thing, everyone, when they're learning to play an instrument, especially guitar, you forget about the early days of playing until you try and play it with the other hand and reverse everything. That takes you back to square one, and you remember, you think, oh yeah, this is quite difficult. But you forget all of your early learning process and all of the progress that you make quite quickly. You forget all that. So the things that I struggled with, I would say probably just getting chords clean. Not that I can remember it, but I know that I would have had that problem. And then playing bar chords, definitely, because I was playing when I was 11 or 12 on an acoustic guitar, so it was a lot more difficult playing the acoustic. And then when I got the electric, it was like amazing, because you could get lighter strings and it was easy to push down. But anyway, having the bar chords, that would have been very difficult. I can remember trying to get my thumb over the top, because I could see in pictures that's how Jimi Hendrix was playing. And when I was young, there was no YouTube or anything like that. I had a VHS of the Woodstock performance, so I could then watch that and see that he had his thumb over the top. As to other things, I can't really remember getting into lead, but it all would have been difficult. It's all difficult when you're learning, but it's just hour after hour after hour. You just need to spend, every day practicing as much as you can, which I did, and then you'll make those improvements a lot more quickly. And a lot of people sometimes pick up an instrument and just play maybe once a week, and I always say, if you are going to learn an instrument, play it. What I did when I started is I played it every day, even if it was for 30 seconds or a minute. I would go and try and remember the shapes and it might take me 30 seconds to go through my D shape, my A shape, my E shape, my G shape, my C shape, and that's all I knew to begin with. So I would just go through those shapes, even if I didn't, say for example I had too much homework, I wouldn't have time to play the guitar, so I'd just do those shapes to remind myself for the next day what the shapes were. So then when I go back to it the next day, again, if I had a lot of homework and I didn't have time to practice, I would do the shapes again. So you're always remembering it, so when you do get half an hour or an hour to practice, you still remember the shapes, so you're not thinking back 4 or 5 days and thinking, oh, what was that one that I can't remember? It was something like this, and then you'll do all the wrong versions of that shape. So I always say, if you're learning an instrument, especially guitar, just get your hands on that fretboard. Kinesthetic feedback as well, there's a complicated word for you, but if just feeling the strings, feeling the fretboard, that goes into your brain, and it keeps those connections going in your brain between your hand, the strings, and the fretboard. Even if you're not playing, just pushing them down onto the fretboard in those shapes helps. So just do that every day. That's what I did, and it will just improve your playing, even though you're not spending half an hour or an hour every night. If you can do that, great, but if you can't, just tiny bits really do help. So thank you anyway for that, Lisa. And Zeke has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Zeke. And Jennifer donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Jennifer, as well as the other donations that she has sent through already. The message is, Phil, this may sound strange, because I used to play piano. Why would keys be harder on your hands than playing guitar? So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I think it's probably because I've got smaller hands. I haven't got much of a stretch on my left hand. It means that stretching for octaves is more difficult, and I'll do it with the other hand. You're stretching for octaves, not in a flat position, but in flexion. So it means that you've got tension on your wrist and you're stretching apart. So when you're playing piano, generally your hands are going to be at a slight angle. So if I'm just playing here, actually it might even be extended. I've just simulated playing piano, and depending on the height of the piano, it might actually be the case that I'm in extension. So, and that would make sense, because when I wear this, the solid part of it means that I can't extend my hand. Is that right? Yeah, extension is pushing down, and I'm stopped by doing that, and that helps. So it must mean that, playing piano is in extension and not flexion. I have to get my... It is a long time since I have been through my definitions of flexion and extension, but I'm pretty sure that flexion is going to be where you're flexing the wrist going backwards. So it's extension that is the problem that I have. Extension and then having that hand span. So when I'm playing guitar, and turning round, technically you're still doing the same movement, but you're not pushing away, you're pulling towards. So it's a different muscle group that you're doing. You're turning your hand towards yourself, and that is fine. Like I said, generally, I know that is something that I have referred to in previous videos. When I'm playing the guitar, because I have my thumb over the top of the guitar, when I'm playing bar chords, my hand is actually staying in this position. So there isn't that dramatic change in the wrist, because my hand is, let me try and get this on the screen, that is the position that I'm playing guitar in. So I can do that even with a wrist support on, and I can stretch my fingers from side to side and I don't get any problem with my wrist. But as soon as I'm extending, playing piano and then doing that, I can't do it with this because I got the support on, so it's fine. But doing that has obviously caused some problems. So that is the problem, that whole kind of extension thing that is the opposite to what I do on guitar. And I very much play guitar in the safest way that I think is possible at all, because of having my thumb over the top, and all I'm doing when I'm playing a chord is closing my hand. And when I'm playing chords in the other way, I'll demonstrate it with the other hand, that's when you have to do that whole dodgy thing with your wrist, and you get this weird kind of angle going on because you're holding the chord with that hand. Sometimes you will have to do that if you do have smaller hands like me, and you have to stretch for a ninth chord, for example, and add 9 in the bar chord shape, you'll need to use your little finger, you'll need to get your thumb behind the neck, you'll need to stretch. But for most of my playing, I keep that thumb over the top. So only for specialized chords do I then go to that. And because it's such a quick chord, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, piano is obviously a little bit different. But thank you for that, Jennifer. And let me just jump into the PayPal window because we've had a few donations in there. And it's 1 already. So Sue donated £20. Thank you for that. I almost questioned that because of the dollar and cents fiasco a minute ago. So thank you for this, Sue. It was indeed £20, 20 English pounds, and that's a straight up donation. Thank you for that. And Richard has donated $25. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on another subscriber milestone. Please do not pick my name for the pick roulette. I am hoping to win someday. So, no problem, Richard. I will sort out somebody with a top tip pick. At some point, maybe I've got to pick somebody who is going to win, and it might be tonight. So thank you, Richard, for that. Renee has donated £5.62. Thank you for that. And scrolling down, the message is, some of the video on Free Fallin looked handheld. Who was shooting that part? One of my favourite covers, by the way. So thank you for that, Renee. And yes, this would have been either the one or one of the maybe 2 videos that my dad held the camera on, because then unfortunately my dad's not very tech savvy, but I wanted a moving camera, and since that I now use a plugin that I have on Final Cut Pro 10 where you can have a handheld look to the footage. So it looks like it's moving, but actually it's not. It's on a stand. But yes, so this is my dad who was holding it. But like I said, he's not very tech savvy. So when it comes to the editing, I then realized in one of the videos the whole take was out of focus, so it couldn't be used, and it was a bit of a nightmare, especially when you then do another angle and that's out of focus as well. So I then, had to change to just putting it on a stand again, just a tripod, and keeping it stationary, and then adding the movement afterwards. So that was that was a very brief employment of my dad to help me with the camera work. That I mean, it worked out well on that video. I think it gives it a little bit more dynamism, if that's even the word, but just having a little bit of movement there I think makes a lot of difference. But thank you for that, Renee. And Carol has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Carol. And the message is, thanks for sharing your knowledge and your talents. No problem. I will keep on doing that if you guys are interested at all. And if you're joining me on the live streams, again, thank you guys for joining me in the live stream tonight. I can see we've had 372 likes so far. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. Actually closing in on 400, which would be crazy, but we will see where we end up. We've got about 10 minutes left of the live stream if we don't go over. I know on the last live stream we went over because I was talking about the whole Paul McCartney thing, which hopefully I have put to rest tonight. Go back to the earlier part of the live stream when we started to have a look at Paul being put over Fall being put over Paul's face, and them just being perfect replications of each other. But anyway, thank you for tuning in tonight and for the donations. Let me just get into this donation from Jeannie, who has donated $5. Thank you for that, Jeannie. And the message is, don't mean to nitpick before the pick roulette, but moving the wrist back is wrist extension and down is wrist flexion. But I know what you mean. So thank you for that, Jeannie. And yeah, even now, I mean, now that we've had it clarified, thank you for that. And I'm trying to think of why I had it reversed. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it's just been so long since I've actually referred to flexion and extension, because I know that flexion, obviously, for the bicep is bringing it towards you. Extension is, moving your arm away. And yeah, so I'm trying to figure out why I couldn't then do the same with the wrist. Anyway, thank you for that, Jeannie, for clarifying that. So, yeah, I think when I actually simulated playing piano, I realised, oh, actually, it's the opposite of what I'm saying. So, I've imagined it in totally the wrong way. I think I've imagined it like I was Elton John, standing up playing piano, but I don't stand up when I play, I sit down. So, thank you for that, Jeannie. Let's jump into the pictures for tonight, and let's get the background up on screen. And let me try and find the pictures. So, let's see how many we've got tonight. It's just going to be 3 that we have tonight. And first of all, we have this that has been sent in by Deborah. Thank you for this, Deborah. And she is modelling the hat that I've forgotten the name of because we don't really have them here in the UK. But they... Oh, why don't I... Unfortunately, my brain, while I was trying to think of it, said bowler hat. And it's not a bowler hat. That is something totally different. But anyway, thank you for uploading this one, Deborah. And she's got the... I was going to say Wings of Pegasus. It's not technically Wings of Pegasus, but she has a Pegasus button type thing attached to it as well, like a pin. I'm not sure whether calling it a button is technically correct, but there's a pin attached. So thank you, Deborah, for that. And she's got on her customized Wings of Pegasus custom made t-shirt. So it's custom made and customized. So thank you for that, Deborah. And let's bring on screen Carla as well. And I'm racking my brains now to try and remember what those hats are called. But thank you for this, Carla. The Wings of Pegasus CD, and that's a signed CD. And that will be personally messaged on the front as well. And I was thinking that, yeah, there must be some of the really old CDs that I used to make myself with glue. I used to print off the pictures, and on that picture I would write on. Now I write on the front of the case, but I used to write on the picture. I left a little space white when I printed it out. But yeah, so there are some old CDs out there, I'm sure, but this is one of the more modern ones, it looks like. So thank you for that, Carla, for purchasing that as well. There have been a lot of CDs ordered recently. I did a batch of those yesterday, was it? So yeah, thank you everyone for ordering the CD. And here we have another CD where you can see my writing on the front, and this has been uploaded by Karen, so thank you for this. And we've got the Wings of Pegasus pick there, and that's the pick roulette pick, I do believe, because we have the picture there as well. We have the glow-in-the-dark tumbler, that was the limited edition version. And we have the well, I was going to say the glasses there. They're not Wings of Pegasus glasses. They are very much Elton John-esque glasses. So thank you very much for uploading that one, Karen. And thank you as well to Carla for linking me to pictures, and also Vince for sending pictures my way so that I get them more for the live stream. So let's get this back on screen, and I'm going to have a little look through to make sure that I haven't missed any, and yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to have a little look into the live chat room to see if anybody's going to write what the name of that hat is. I'm trying to think. The problem is bowler hat is stuck at the front of my brain, and there it is. We have LVL Lee 11 who says bucket hat. It's a bucket hat. So thank you, Deborah, for modelling your bucket hat. And I don't think there's ever going to be a Wings of Pegasus bowler hat, not unless I get invited to some very fancy events, and I'll have to design one myself. But anyway, thank you for uploading your pictures, and we are going to jump into now the pick roulette. So good luck, everybody. I'll pick a top pick when we get into it, but I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. Right, let's have a little look. I'm going to pick... I'm going to wait it. What about Mike the Dad Cross something? Okay, so... I mean, I could have picked out something that I could actually read the full username of, but it is... what did I just say it was? I was looked away from the screen and now I've lost it. It was something like Dad the something or other. So I'm gonna type that. Type Dad the. And hopefully I'll be able to spot it if it ever comes around again. Trying to see these names is a nightmare because it's quite small on my screen, but also there are so many names. So we're going to spin the wheel and just hope that it does land on whatever the username was that I just said. Dad the is definitely part of it. So good luck, everybody. The wheel is spinning. And if we land on the darker segments, by the way, that's the t-shirt. If you haven't seen one of these before, if this is your first pick roulette, just stay tuned. You'll get a vibe as to how it works and how to enter next week's one as well after this pick roulette. And look at that, we almost had Lee coming in there, but it was almost a t-shirt as well. And Totoro Porco. And it is indeed Totoro Porco. So congratulations to you. And I'm just going to say the username so that I can just highlight that the winner for this pick roulette is Totoro Porco because the username says so. And I'm just saying the username because in previous live streams and pick roulettes I have mentioned about if you win, you can't use any other name than the name that you're using for the pick roulette. So we all know that Totoro Porco, I do refer to a different name, but I'm going to keep it literally to Totoro Porco just so people understand that that is the name that is going to be the winner. So if we had another username that was a different name and it was the same person with a different account, that wouldn't count. Unfortunately, you've got to enter with the same name as is on your account on YouTube. So congratulations, commiserations, as I always say, to everybody else. And yes, so a huge congratulations to Richard for winning tonight. So unfortunately, Dad, the username, I'm going to see if I can quickly pick it up anywhere now that it's not spinning. And I can't see it anywhere. Oh, there we go. It was, and now it's upside down. Mike the Dad Cross something. So commiserations to you, Mike, and apologies for not remembering your username. But yeah, maybe next time it'll be time for somebody else to win. I'm just going to centralize that, even though I'm now going to get rid of it on the screen. So let's get rid of that. Right, now the entry time is open, or the entries are now open for next week's pick roulette. So I'm going to do my example that I normally do, but keep your eyes on the live chat room because I'm going to type at Carla and then Murray in order to tag her in this comment and type I agree with some exclamation marks, which are optional. So have a little look into the live chat room. If this is your first live stream, pick roulette, if you don't know how it works and you want to get your name on the wheel because you want to try and win a t-shirt or you want to try and win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick, then just look here now because just copy what everyone else is doing. Tag Carla Murray as everyone's doing in the comment and type I agree, and then your name will be added to the wheel, which will then show up next week, next Tuesday, and it's 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, same place for the live streams on Tuesday, and Saturday the live streams are at 12 same time, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So that is the live stream time. Check that out, join in there, all of that stuff. So let me just see very, very quickly if I put the background up on screen, whether the live chat room disappears. And it does. That's going to be annoying because I wanted to try and show this cartoon that was requested over on Patreon. I'm going to jump over to Patreon just quickly to have a scroll down to see who requested that fill tune. And it was Lisa who requested the Fly on the Wall fill tune. Now, the problem is, in order to access this video, I need to get the background on screen and then do a screen capture of YouTube. This is going to take all of my... Sadly, it's going to take all of my ability to try and do this. Let me try and scroll up. And I am live, as you can tell. So trying to do this on the fly is going to be really difficult. Right, okay. I might cause the live stream to freeze because I'm going to try and copy the background and then paste it in the background or paste it at the top of... I don't think this is going to work. Right, I need to actually find the background first of all. Right, there it is. There's the background. Right click. Oh, what does bring layer to front mean? Should we click on that and see what happens? Okay, fingers crossed nothing freezes. I'm going to try and see if this works or not. I'm going to click on bring layer to front, which should mean... Oh no, we don't want it to the front because we want to see the live chat room. So we want to have it behind the live chat room. Let me move this down. Wow, that's got to go a really long way. Okay, I'm going to attempt to drag this. So if I freeze, apologies, but I'll see you in a second. Hopefully if it then loads after I've done all of this dragging. I'm dragging it. I'm dragging it. This is the point at which it's probably going to freeze. I'm still dragging. Still dragging. Still dragging. Still dragging. And by the way, when I say I'm dragging it, I think I'm still live. I'm dragging. It might not work now. Has it? I think it did freeze momentarily. But when I say that I'm dragging it, I've got about, I don't know, roughly 100 layers. 100 layers of things in the software, and they're all layers. So the one on the top, you see, like the reason that you can see me and all this stuff on screen is because all of these layers are on top of my camera. As I've got my camera feed, and I put on top of that a box for the live chat room, on top of that a box for the PayPal donations, so I have to layer them up. So it means that the background, in order, I mean hopefully it's going to work. I'm going to quickly switch to it. So now the background is behind all of these other layers. So I had to drag it down behind them. So that's what I was doing. And what did I say? A wall on the fly? Let me have a little look, because they said a fly on the wall, not a wall on the fly. And it should be, yes, a fly on the wall. So apologies if I said that. But I'm amazed that that actually worked and it didn't freeze. But anyway, just quickly. Mark donated $20. Thank you for that, Mark. I want to get through the PayPal donations as well. Karen donated $5 as well. Thank you for this, Karen. And the message is, hey, Phil, the heart-shaped sunglasses were just for fun since George Harrison had a pair. And obviously, you're both musical geniuses. So thank you for that, Karen. And yeah, I mean, all the best people have great sunglasses and great glasses in general. So yeah, certainly... I mentioned Elton John in that, but you can include him in that as well. Anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And just jumping over to the PayPal window, because Kevin has donated £1.58, and the message is, thinking back to Shout Out Tuesdays years ago. Congrats on 225,000 subs. $2.25 equals £1.58 Great British pounds. Laugh out loud. Cheers. So thank you for that, Kevin. And yeah, Shout Out Tuesdays back on Facebook. That's when whoever commented then got a shout out the next live stream, because obviously there weren't very many names. So yeah, that was quite a while ago, but thank you, Kevin, for referencing that. And Carla has donated £2.53. Thank you for that, Carla. And that is a straight up donation. Let me just show you guys that one. So let's try and get into this fly on the wall thing. And I'm going to see if I can do a... Ooh, I'm not sure if this is going to work. Right. Oh, man, this is going to be complicated. Let's get rid of that. Let's move this over there. And wow, this is really dragging on. But this is just part of doing it live, and the fact that I hadn't planned on doing this, trying to do it on the fly. So thank you, Elisa, for requesting this. Let's get into it.
So, what the heck are we doing standing by this water cooler?
I thought I had better let you know about a musician I just accidentally surfed into on the internet.
What the fridge? I have important work to do, nag darn it. He better be a rock stroke metal solo artist from Maidenhead, else I'm heading back to my desk.
Fridge. Oh, I know what you meant to say, but the word you wanted must not have been an option. And yes, he is, as luck would have it, actually in actuality.
Well, thank heck. So I assume this guy recorded and produced his own album and recently released a track from this with his self-made video?
That is correct. The word on the street is he's currently up to something that he's not allowed to talk about at the moment. But this will all become clearer soon.
I guess he just wants to get his music heard by as many people as possible at the moment.
That's the idea, I believe. It'll be a case of friends and anyone who likes him to share his band page, and maybe he'll get a few more Facebook likes.
Well, that should work, as he seems like a really great, fantastic, genuine great guy who is great.
Amen to that. I will definitely keep tabs on what he is doing, as I have a feeling people are about to go super mental over this musician. Anyway, that is all. Bye.
And there we have it. And that wasn't a real life story or anything. That was just a quick cartoon that I made up to try and get people to listen to my music in the future. And there we have it. That was a fly on the wall. Now, let me see if I can reverse everything that I did in order to get back up on screen. And here we are. So what I'm going to do is obviously call the live stream to a halt now, because it's gone 1:30 here in the morning in the UK. And what I'm going to do is edit after this the live stream to cut out all of the bits that were missing so that it flows a little bit better for you guys in the catch-up crew. And if you are watching this in the catch-up crew, if you can hit that thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. I've got to try and remember at which points it stopped and froze and then we lost sound and all that kind of stuff, but I will do that after this. So thank you guys for tuning in, for sticking with me until the end, and for hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing, of course. I'm going to be back with another video tomorrow night, an analysis video on Friday night as well, and then I'll be live streaming Saturday night. So if you want to double your chances of winning in the Pig Roulette, tune in on Saturdays as well, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time as always. So thank you guys for joining me, and yeah, an eventful end to the live stream. But I will catch you guys at the video tomorrow night, and stay safe, wear your masks, do everything that the government is advising you doing, use your common sense, all that kind of stuff in order to keep yourself as safe as possible. But I will see you at that video tomorrow night, and if I don't see you then, I might see you Friday night. If I don't see you then, I'll see you live again on Saturday night, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So, let me just check that during all of that, Awesome Strid Mosaics donated $5 and says keep it up. So thank you for that. I'm not sure whether you saw me go through the donations, whether it froze there. So just quickly, Karen donated $5 saying, hey Phil, the heart-shaped glasses were just fun since just for fun since George Harrison had a pair, and obviously you're both musical geniuses. And Orlando just donated $2 saying thanks for your effort, by all. And then Mark donated before that $20, and I think hopefully it hadn't gone wrong when Jeannie donated. So thank you guys for the donations. And Carla donated £2.53 over on PayPal. And Kevin did £1.58 before that, when we were talking about the shout outs on Tuesdays over on Facebook. So anyway, hopefully the stream was still working at that point. I don't know unless I look into that comment section as to whether it's still going or not. So thank you guys for letting me know that something was a little bit wrong. But anyway, as I said, stay safe, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!